Paul Sims. Ollie Town in third. Couldn't do the double with OTT Sonia's Rovatio. And then fourth is Louise Skelton with Whitson. There are provisional scores at the moment with just a few left.
Could Mrs. Cunningham return to her car, please? Mrs. Cunningham, return to your car. Arkandale right at the end of the course. Stilo Contica and Jason Hobbs. They're through the Hampton fences, going to the Dodson Hall crossing at 12.
Julie De Winton safely over the Dracana, fence 17. Well, the next away will be King's Coed Flynn, Jenny Watts, her own horse, 37.6, but then sadly 3 down in the jumping. Very influential fens. The jumping's been here in this championship. Mini Miss, meanwhile, Julia De Winton safely over the Countrywide Mushrooms.
Jason Hobbs and Stilo Contica stretching out towards the Bedmax wall and then just steadies back. Well, it's very imposing wall, well out over that.
Mini Miss Julia De Winton, just at the second element of the, in fact, going the long way it is at the Campo Real leap. Well, as we get towards the end of the cross-country phase of the Smith & Williamson Intermediate Championship, let me tell you, the Open Championship, the British eventing sponsored British Open, will be starting at 3 o'clock across country. 3 o'clock, and that, of course, in reverse order of merit. 3 o'clock the start. King's Coed Flynn now over 8 and 9 now. Mini Miss coming towards the end of the course now. He had a run out actually at the second part of the water, Julia De Winton, sadly, so 20 on her card.
Score for Arkandale and Laura Cocking, 6.06, so 9.6 time penalties, 49.7. Next to start, and has started, it's Caroline Powell with Missy Jane Bell's Thornfield Jones, starting on a score of 34, clearing the show jumping.
Well, sadly, Mini Miss had that run out of the second element of the water, but she's now over the Jules picnic table and up the hill to the last, the British Eventing Festival finale. Mini Miss number 357.
Well, Stilo Contica and Jason Hobbs going really well, starting on that treasure of 33.1, so they could bother the top of the leaderboard.
The grey, King's Coed Flynn, Jenny Watts over 14. And moving easily along to the Park Bowl fences, the next being the Bouvet Ladderby Logs at 14.
Well, Caroline Powell and Thornfield Jones, they're coming to the Smith & Williamson angle, they're clear over that turn to the Beta Crossing. We say another combination that could sit up at the top of the leaderboard after a decent round across the country. And there is nobody, but nobody more competitive across the country than Caroline Powell.
But waiting in the box, it's the current leader, Ruth Edge, going to be back on course next with a 7-year-old this time. Elite Opposition, owned by Mrs. Pauline Fletcher. 35.6 was her dressage score, so she can't beat her horse in the lead at the moment, Applejack. 34.1, that score. Meanwhile, Ruth Edge, Elite Opposition, next out on a score of 35.6. Elite Opposition away at the Dubarry Boot, fence 1.
Stilo Contica has completed. Thornfield Jones across the Dodson Horrell crossing. Come back into view, going to the Martin Collins International Combination.
King's Coed Flynn, Jenny Watts at the Countrywide Mushrooms. Positive ride there from Jenny Watts. Meanwhile, Elite Opposition's away, and it looks to me as if Ruth Edge wants to finish with 2 in the top 3. She could do that, but she'll have to get a wiggle on. No one has been inside the time here at the moment. 5 minutes, 42 seconds. The quickest round so far was 5:48 of Paul Sims.
Well, Caroline Powell has got her foot down. They've gone over the Bedmax wall and going towards the Bouvet-la-Dubé logs.
The grey, Kingscote Flynn. Gone well so far, turning back now for the Burley Court Hotel table. Jumps that well. Well, elite opposition over 6. The Smith-Williamson angle setting up for 7. Ruth Edge, who's had several rides round here and jumps very nicely through the crossing. Meanwhile, Kingscote Flynn well through the water. The water at fence 21.